All right, class. Today we have a special speaker from Denison University. Her name is MnaoNow, and she will be presenting why women read romance novels and her thesis and her abstract from that. So let's give her a big hand.
Good morning, everyone. Like he said, my name is Anna Costel, and I conducted my senior research this year on romance novels. I did an in-depth content analysis of 3 romance novel websites. I looked to see what women were saying about why they read the romance novels they did. My methods is they're new by using blogs, analyzing blogs. There have not been any other studies on romance novels that have used that. Most of them use interviews or they do romance novel analysis. So I looked at it using 2 theoretical perspectives. The first one was women read romance novels to escape reality. And with that perspective, it goes that women read romance novels to escape reality because they're so unhappy in the lives that they live. But unfortunately, by doing so, they're reinforcing the gender stereotypes and norms that have caused them to be unhappy. So they're just perpetuating the cycle of their unhappiness, and they will always look at romance novels and the ideal love and romance and see that their lives don't match up. So that's the first one that I used. And the second one was that reading romance novels empowers women. They are able to choose what they do with their free time, which means that they're able to have agency, that they're able to choose, they're autonomous, and because of that, they're empowered. Also, can do with the text. Women don't always, the theory is that women don't always read the same way. So although romance novels might, the goal of them might be to perpetuate the dominant ideology, which is patriarchy, women can read them based on their own personal experiences and beliefs. That shapes the way that they perceive the different kinds of stories that they read. What I found was that unfortunately women do read romance novels to escape reality. And a lot of the quotes that I found, the comments that were made on the 3 different blogs, all indicated that women were unhappy with the lives that they were living, therefore that's why they chose to read romance novels. They used the word escape, a form of escape for them to relax. So I was not able to find that they were empowered by reading romance novels, but also an emerging theme that came up was that community, that women who read romance novels, because in the past, due to families moving out to the suburbs and the so close social networks that women had developed before, they lost. And so now that they're looking for those kind of like support groups and networks, and by reading romance novels, they're able to do so. And the women that I looked at were members of virtual communities, 3 different ones, and they all were able to find friendship. They said that by being part of the community, they were intellectually stimulated. They were able to talk about romance novels, different types of literature. They were also able to talk about, some women talked about cooking recipes, so their friendships were very, very strong. They also asked for advice. So what I found was that yes, women read them to escape, and they do unfortunately perpetuate the dominant ideology, but that they do benefit from them so that they're able to have support groups. Any questions?
Do you read romance novels?
I do. I actually read them much more beforehand, before my project. It's one of the reasons that I chose to research this. I went to an abortion clinic at the beginning of this year, and the only reading material that I saw was a romance novel, which was really upsetting to me to think that women in this sort of situation, I expected to see some sort of like inspirational books or about like getting through something as difficult as like having an abortion, but unfortunately the women that would go there, they only were able to access romance novels.
Why do women actually read romance novels? Do you think they're afraid of the truth, or do they just use it to escape confrontation? representation?
Well, I think it has to do with both. Like, one of the big problems is that women are escaping reality. So they're escaping, like, their lives that they're living and going into a fantasy world, which a lot of different, what people do when they consume different forms of, like, media, like reading any kind of book or watching a movie or reading a magazine is a way to escape, relax. But I think it has to do with, like, they are unhappy in their lives, and that instead of seeking real satisfactions and actively pursuing them, they're passively just submitting to consuming different forms of gender stereotypes and norms.
Do you think it is healthy for women to read romance novels to escape their reality?
I think that it's necessary. I think that in order to survive, people have to do some sort of activity. It can be anything. Some people do some sort of like a sport to escape, like a type of release. But what's problematic about romance novels is that what they do is that they're reinforcing that there is an ideal love, that women are supposed to be like beautiful and fragile, and men are supposed to take care of them, and it kind of reinforces that. Like, when you're little, you watch Disney movies, or you've heard stories about like princes and princesses and being saved, and as you get older, that reinforcing of that's the way, like, the perfect love is supposed to be, romance. And learning that is bad, that is what it's supposed to be, because you're going to then compare your life with that, and it'll never match up. So. Thank you.